Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking in live to Lucas Oil Arena in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, where for tonight's broadcast we have Game 4 of a 7-game set between the Washington Nationals and the Indianapolis Motorheads. Hello, I am Builder. Alongside of me tonight is my broadcast partner DNP. He's working the camera tonight and will be providing color commentary throughout the evening. The Washington Nationals have come out on top in 2 out of the last 3 of these contests and 2 of the only 3 of these contests. Game 4 goes right now. The Indy Motorheads, they need to find a way to get their mojo back. In game number 2, it looked like they had all the mojo in the world as they stormed ahead and defeated the Washington Nationals in the nation's capital 4-2. But Washington was able to gain some of their confidence back in game number 3 with a 4-3 overtime win thanks to Anthony Duclair. Game number 1 was an absolute Washington stunner, and by stunner I mean dominance. 3-1 victory there for Washington. Shots were 17-8, and that's where we currently stand with a 2-1 series lead for Washington. Let's get you caught up with the rest of the series. We mentioned the 2-1 series lead for Washington. The other playoff series in that bracket, you have the Tampere Ilves and the Boston Riptide, and the Tampere Ilves lead that series at a score of 2-1. They lost one of those games at home and were able to pull out a victory. They won their game at home and were able to pull out a victory in Boston to lead that one 2-1. In the PPG Paints Conference, the St. Louis Cyclones were able to pull out another one on home ice. They currently lead that series at a score of 3-1, but we all know that series should just about be over after that game number 1 collapse. They won tonight after with a 4-3 victory. Barely squeaked it out because with just 2 minutes remaining, the puck was sitting on the goal line, and an absolutely fantastic save by Jordan Binnington saved the game and did win the game for the Cyclones with that play. And the other playoff series in that conference, it's the New Orleans Wildcats leading the Little Nice Fencers at a series score of 2-1 after the Wildcats took a 4-3 regulation win just 2 short nights to go in the TD Bank Superdome. Let's not waste any more of your time. Actually, let's waste some more of your time. DNP, any thoughts on tonight's game? All right, well, that puts it plain and simple. Let's get going here. Let's get to the anthems. Indiana's ready for hockey.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocked the land, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the
We are ready to go from the crossroads of America. Washington Nationals, Indianapolis Motorheads, game number 4. In the net for the home squad is Elvis Merzlikins, making his 4th start of the series. And opposing him for the Washington Nationals, it's Vitek Vanacek making his 4th appearance. In the draw, Dylan Cousins, Drake Batherson, we're underway from the Hoosier State. Across the blue line, Washington gets it into the Indianapolis end, and Indy's able to clear it out now. Off the far end boards, puck comes back to neutral ice, now behind the net of Elvis Merzlikins into the near corner. It's Lord Stanley and Drake Batherson amongst the crowd, and the Motorheads are able to get it cleared. Into the near corner again, it was Dylan Cousins leading the rush, gets bumped off it and cleared away by the Nats. In behind the net of Elvis Merzlikins. Merzlikins played a little bit of defense there, now getting out of the way of the Nats players as he saw he was going to get absolutely run, and he did. To the near corner, Lawson Crouch placed it through the crease to Orlov, who just couldn't quite get a corral on it, as I believe he was down. And Indy's able to get it clear. Near corner, Johnny Taves, one of the captains on this Indy squad, not able to get any momentum going for the Motorheads just yet. To the blue line. Still Jonathan Taves trying to reroute traffic, and he's able to get that puck to almost the blue line. Jamie Ben's able to get it to the blue line. Can't get it clear yet, though. Adam Pelech. It was held in by Orlov. A pass to the blue line gets cleared away. Puck dumped in. Now behind the net of Vitek Vanacek to the far corner. It's Alex Ovechkin. To the blue line and cleared of any Indianapolis pressure. To the hash marks. Played away by the Nats. There's Ovechkin again, the captain with the goal in this series, looking to play a little bit of defense, and some good defense he did produce. To the far corner now, behind the net of Elvis Merzlikins, Dylan Cousins pokes it into the near corner. Trying to get it out is Indy. There's a battle. Indy does succeed on their task, getting it out of the defensive zone. It was Nick Backstrom now trying to lead the rush for the Nats. He gets it to neutral ice, but turned back. A funny hop off the boards, but no one was there to poke it home as that puck slid through the slot. To neutral ice now. In behind the net of Merzlikins. Merzlikins takes a bump from his own teammates, and Ovechkin wins the race with Artem Zub. Slot pass, takes a funny hop, and out of play. 11:30 to go here in the first period. Shot still 0-0. Nothing has hit the goalies yet. And that obviously means the score is 0-0. That one takes a funny hop. It's coming down the other way. The score is no longer 0-0. It's a goal, and it's Anthony Mantha. Washington on the board early. It's 1-0.
This was how they scored a grand majority of the goals they scored in the last game. So it seems like Washington is carrying some momentum from game number 3. And that's looking good for them if they want to take this series.
Don't fix what ain't broken. Washington's going with the same strategy of just putting it on the Indy net, and good things are happening. Wow, that was nearly unfortunate for Chris Tanev as he lost his balance and was sliding. The puck came off the boards, and he almost deflected it off his head to his own net. That's not using your noggin. Into the far corner now, Adam Pelech with it. The scoring summary will read Anthony Mantha from Nicholas Backstrom. Now played in. Here's a chance for Andre Burakovsky. Couldn't put it on the net. Now Linus Ullmark comes in to the game. His second appearance of the series. To the blue line and cleared. And way out of play. 8:41 remaining here in the first frame. Washington has gotten on the board early once again. It's 1-0 for the nation's capital. In the near corner, Michael Bunting now with it. Jacob Slavin. That puck takes a funny hop. Still against the boards. I thought it was out of play for a period of time. Good thing I didn't click face-off. To the blue line again. Washington's trying to get it clear, and they do. Off the boards. Puck sitting at the face-off dot now. Now played away by the Motorheads. Anthony Mantha now has it. He pokes it into his own end. That one takes a hop off the boards, but just off the side of the net and out of harm's way for the time being. Now off the boards of the Indy net, and it just missed Linus Ullmark. Ovechkin tries to get it turned the right way. He does for the time being, but Bowen Byram's going to beat the group there, looking for a clear. Gets it to the top of the face-off circle, but no further. In behind the net of Ullmark, once again, it's Brandon Tanev. Turbo trying to find a man at the point. Couldn't quite get it there and cleared away. A good stick there by Lord Stanley clears it back into the Indianapolis end. That's a good bounce for Washington shot just off. That's not going to count. That one was played behind the net, and Dougie Hamilton has shot through the net. No goal. As we're just going to review it, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get a clip of it, but I saw it. Puck was behind the net, and it was shot right through the back.
Let's look at this one here. Right there. Puck ends up behind the net. And that's not a goal. As always, I rewinded a bit too far. So here's where it goes in. You can very clearly see that it is behind the goal. If we go frame by frame, because I seem to like doing that for some reason. You can very clearly see that it was behind the net and gets forced through from behind. Here it is again. Bounces off the boards, gets shoved to the side, and then gets forced through the back. So this does not count.
Unfortunate for Washington, who thought they may be able to go up too early, just like they did in game number 3 of this series. Washington got on the board 3 times, and there's the official announcement of no goal. That brings the home crowd alive. They scored 3 goals early. Indianapolis was able to come all the way back. Here's another chance for Washington. Saved by Ullmark. Rebound. That one goes, and that one's going to count. It's, I believe, Drake Batherson getting credit for it. And now Washington leads by 2 legally.
I think this might be an own goal. Because it looked to me... Let me pull up the replay here real quickly. It looks to me like the initial shot is from a Washington stick, and then I can't quite make out who that is, but it's I believe the center for the Indianapolis Motorheads, or at least one of the defenders, who comes across and forces this one behind his goaltender. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances and an unfortunate series of events.
Sorry, I was muted right there while DMP was talking. I forgot to unmute. Yeah, definitely an unfortunate set of circumstances. Indy, they thought they dodged a bullet with that prior goal not counting, and then immediately Washington gets it right back, and they extend their lead to 2 legally. To the blue line now, Washington looking for an outlet. They get one. It's Artem Zub. Zub carries across the blue line and no furthers. He takes a bump. That puck gets fired to the slot. Chance back the other way. Misses just wide. It's sitting in the slot, but cleared away by Justin Schultz. Good thinking right there by Schultz. Now into the corner. Behind the net. Indianapolis. Shot on. And it's in. It's in. What a shot from full ice. Evgeny Kuznetsov. And just like in game number 3, it's 3-0 Washington. Deja vu all over again.
And got a couple things to add to that. Remember what happened to that 3-0 lead in game number 3. It evaporated. But, oh, by the way, it's another full ice goal like the Washington Nationals have been scoring all season or all series long. The Indy Motorheads have got to prepare better for those.
They sure do. Indy has not been able to defend against it or goaltend against it. And an absolute immaculate period for the Washington Nationals has come to an end at a score of 3-0. Shots are 12-0 in favor of the nation's capital. Unbelievable period.
And oh, by the way, there's there's 4 different players on the Washington Nationals who have recorded a point so far tonight, and I'm sure that they'd love that number to go up.
Anthony Mantha, Nicholas Backstrom, Drake Batherson, and Evgeny Kuznetsov are all the point getters so far. Here's a shot off the post. Indy trying to strike back early, just like they did in game number 3. Don't forget, folks, if you missed game number 3, a little throwback to it. Washington went up 3-0 in that game as well in the first period. Indy was able to claw all the way back to tie the game, but the Nats were able to win that game in overtime. The complete opposite of what happened with the St. Louis Cyclones. They lost that game 4-3, but not in overtime, in regulation, as that one gets played out of play. We've seen many multi-goal leads blown so far in these playoffs. So another one tonight wouldn't be the first, and most likely will not be the last if Washington is not able to hold on for the rest of the game. Well, speaking of Washington, they get out of their own defensive zone, trying to find a clear. They get one. Hitting the far board, takes a funny hop out the foot, scores! What a goal, it's an own goal! And again, it's Andrei Burakovsky. And it's 4-0 nation for the nation's capital.
Everything is going exactly as Washington has planned. Or maybe not, because I don't know that they're planning for these own goals, but they're definitely putting the puck in a position for the Indy Motorheads to make a mistake like that. And just, I think at this point, it's on the Motorheads to just, figure something out.
And they almost did right there. Washington has done the one thing that not many teams have done, and it's been up by 4. Not any teams have done. In fact, everyone's gone up by 3. Burakovsky finally gets his revenge for one of his goals not counting. And the score sheet will read, Burakovsky assisted by Justin Schultz.
Boston won 4-0 in their first game.
Oh, Boston did go 4-0. Sorry, so they're the second team to do so. Pardon me. Not many have done it, though.
I believe Tampa Bay also went up 4-0 in game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe they did. I don't recall that. I thought it was 3-0. But
oh, shot score!
Is it Drake Batherson? I believe it is. Batherson getting his second of the night. Just a deflection off the corner, and it's 5-0. They're the first team so far these playoffs to crack 5.
This shot, oh, it's such a weird one. It's fired from, once again, guess where? The inside of the Washington Nationals zone. It takes an odd bounce off the end boards out to Drake Batherson, and he banks it in off of the back of the goaltender. And oh, by the way, here they're trying for 6.
What an unbelievable chance there as well, but they couldn't pot that one home. Somewhere, someplace, random filler is grinning ear to ear. Drake Batherson gets his second goal on the night. Here's another chance, maybe. No. Batherson now looking up for a hat trick. This score summary will read Batherson from Lawson Krause. Maybe a chance for Indy here to get something going. Gain a little bit of respect back. No. Cleared away by the Nats. They have scored 5 goals before Indy has even had a chance to test Vitek Vanacek. Vanacek has done nothing so far in this game because he hasn't had to. There's still 0 shots on the board. Here's maybe a chance for Washington. No, it's cleared away by Indy. Still no shots have hit Vitek Vanacek. Hops off the boards. This is right into the slot, but cleared away by the Motorheads. The Motorheads were looking to maybe turn it around, and they just haven't had a chance to. Sorry, DMP, go ahead.
I think Drake Batherson's falling asleep here.
Well, I don't blame him.
He hasn't had a need.
He really hasn't. He's got his 2 goals. He can sit the rest of the game, and coach will still be happy. I didn't think I'd see this in these playoffs because just about every game, except for a select few, have been incredibly, incredibly close. Washington at the halfway point of the second, or just beyond the halfway point of the second stanza, leads by 5. Can you believe that? Here's a chance for Indy, maybe. No, Washington with their superb defense is able to get it out of harm's way for the time being and clear it down the ice. Tried maybe for that play that Batherson just scored off of, but Bennett wasn't quite in the correct positioning and got up a little too quick. Here's maybe a chance. No, takes a funny hop off the boards and around the net of Darcy Kemper. Here's Lawson Krause. Here's a chance maybe for turnover. No, misses just wide. Sam Bennett now. Justin Schultz trying to clear it out of his end. Lawson Krause. He's had his fingerprints all over the game sheet here lately. Couldn't get it clear. Off the boards, he score! Takes a funny hop off the boards. It's Bowen Byram, and Indy has life.
Well, I was going to ask how save percentage works if you have 0 saves on 0 shots, but Bowen Byron puts 3 on the goal and finds a way to get one of those past Vitek Vanacek. And I don't know. I think the fans are still leaving the building, but maybe a few of them have decided.
I hate to say it, but I don't think this is going to count. You might want to view it. I'm looking at it on Metal, and it does not look like it enters the net legally. Would you like me to show you my screen, DMP?
Sure.
I will share my screen. I don't think this goes in legally.
We'll have to take a look.
I have a good angle of it right here, and watch it hops off the boards and just goes right in. It just goes right through the side of the net.
I'm gonna look at my angle first.
You're gonna have a hard angle at it. Yeah, whoops, what happened here? I hate to burst your bubble, Indy fans. I don't think this one's gonna count. Because it doesn't really look like it enters the net.
I can't see anything from that angle. Let's see what you have.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to count. Because it takes a weird cream. So it hits the boards, and before it even reaches the net, it takes a weird bounce off something before it even reaches Darcy Kemper. So it doesn't go off Kemper, and it just phases right through the side of the net. And you still see it, and then it just takes a weird bounce through the side of the net.
Slow it down. Are you playing at 2.5?
This is at 25. This is at 0.25. This is about as much as I can slow down. This is like frame by frame.
Almost. It's not quite.
See? It speeds up and goes through the side.
Play it in real time. Play it in real time. Or not real time. Play it at 0.25 speed and don't pause it. Because I think by pausing it, you're losing some frames there.
Okay.
So let's see. That's difficult.
Because it just takes a weird bounce, but it bounces through the side. It doesn't hit Kemper at all. I don't think this one can count, DMP.
I'm gonna quickly hold on. Don't currently have this set up for Discord, but I can set it up for Discord real quickly.
The stream.
Yeah, because what I'm gonna do is hit start recording. Let me know if stream is. I can't tell if stream can see it or not.
Live. Stream is looking at YouTube, I think, currently.
I don't, because I'm on the same.
Just hit the eye on the stream, because it's probably because you have them both
I have
visible
it
and you
full
have
screen.
the stream. Oh.
I had it full screen. Here, pop out player. And now back to OBS.
It looked like it's. I mean, I don't think that's disputable evidence at all. Like it never enters the net. Like I think with lag,
because what I'm gonna try and do is record it, and then I want to try to record it, and then I would be able to go frame by frame.
Yeah. I think what actually happened is without lag, it ends up hitting Kemper and just goes in because it looks like it's going to miss the post, but it just takes such a sharp turn that it does actually phase through the side of the net. And I don't think it's very disputable at all. Because it does, like, even if without lag, like, it does, like, it would go in legally, it doesn't look like from this POV that it does. Because it takes a weird hop and just goes into the net. So we don't actually know what would happen if it didn't do that. You know, I think it probably just hits Kemper and goes in, but there's no disputable evidence saying that it just takes a hop off something and then just goes right through the side of the net. Like I don't think that's very disputable at all.
Show there's the clip. So keep it going. So stop recording, because I'm gonna pull this up and go frame by frame, and if I can't see it go in, I'm gonna call it off. Here we are. Let's switch this over.
Oh, yeah. The game thinks that it goes off of Kemper. Because if you watch the shots, it goes from 0 to 3, and it just goes into the net, which only counted as 1. So I think in real time, it does actually just go off Kemper and go in.
Yeah.
But we can't base it off that because it doesn't actually do that on the screen. It just phases through the side of the net. So we don't actually have that to be factual. So from my perspective, I don't think
from your perspective, it looks like you lag like right as it comes to the net, maybe, and then it goes in, because it's like if we go.
But the players didn't stop. Usually, when I lag, the players stop. The players would stop if I lagged.
Or it might also be the vision lag deal with, because you know how sometimes the puck gets teleported back. It might be that too.
It's true, but it never enters legally. You can't count it because from the clip, the puck doesn't cross the line legally. Although technically, yes, it probably banks off Kemper. We can't see it do that. So it just is at the side of the net, and then it just phases through. I don't think you can count that. Although technically it probably would be a goal. There's no disputable evidence saying that it did cross the line. Like
no indisputable evidence, you mean?
Yeah, there's no indisputable. Yeah, there's no Like it's hard to. You can't dispute that on the clip. It went in illegally. Like you can't dispute that because on the clip, yeah, it does go through illegally. Logically, yes, probably it just I probably just lagged and it bounced off Kemper and went in, but you can't see that.
Yeah.
It's just side of the net and then phases in. So it's not a goal, right? It doesn't from the clip. It doesn't enter legally, which means you can't count it.
I'm just gonna look one more time at from my angle. Here's the goal again. Send it in. And from my angle, I do actually see it in the blue paint. If you look at stream, I see it hit the boards.
Oh, you can see it
bounces
hit.
off the back of him, and you can barely see it. But yes, it is in the blue paint, and it goes in.
Okay, that's much different then. Then yes, this should count then, because stream, there is actually evidence that it does go in legally. Because I can't see it hit the goalie; it just enters the net. But you can very much see.
The reason that I went to check yours was because the goaltender is like in front of the post there. It's hard to tell whether or not it might have gone through the post. But based on the angle it's traveling at, I don't think it does.
No, and from my angle on top, it doesn't look like it's gonna. That's what I was saying the whole time. It looks like it was gonna miss the post.
Yeah.
So okay, that's that evidence right there.
So I say this goal counts.
Yep, that is a good goal. From my point of view, you can't call it a good goal, but from this point of view, you can definitely see it hit the back of the goal and go in. Which, like I said, logically, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see that. But stream view, I definitely.
That's why I wanted to go back, because on yours, from your angle, it looks like it kind of teleports.
Yep.
Almost. From my angle, it very much does not.
Yep. So that is definitely a good Indianapolis goal.
Well, all the fans that returned to their seats have now left, and now they're going to be returning from the parking lot. This goal counts.
Indy's on the board.
And that time, the team winner will be thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, from my point of view, it did not look like it counted. I figured
it did not. But it was more of a, from your view, it was inconclusive. From my angle, it proved that it counted, as opposed to some of the times where it's like, from one angle it's inconclusive, and then from another it doesn't count. Yep. Still, it's a 5-1 lead for Washington. Probably means that most of the crowd is probably still going.
But the ones that are here got to party a little bit because they actually scored a goal. Indy hits the net one time, and how about that? It goes in. Here's another chance for Washington as it misses just wide of Allmark's cage. Indy looking for an out. Can they maybe get back into this one from down 5, if you can believe it? Not a friendly hop that'll help him out there. Jamie Benn gets credit on that one on the score sheet. No assists for that. Down the other way come the Nats. It's going to miss wide. Maybe a slick shot from the side, but no. Vrana now has it behind the net. He's had a good series thus far. Still fighting in the near corner. Chris Tana's there with Jacob Chikrin along with everybody else, but Indy's able to get a clear. Now down the other way come the Motorheads. Maybe an opportunity here. Shot in the corner by Chikrin. There's a good hop into the slot, but missed. Now to center ice. To the near corner. Pavel Zacha leading the rush. Cleared down the other way. To the far corner. Just a minute to go here in the middle frame. Shots are 14-3 in favor of the nation's capital. Score is 5-1. In the near corner again, cleared out to kill the rest of the period. Washington leads by 4 after 2.
Interesting to note that directly after the goal, the light was on for Bowen Byram. But yet Jamie Benn gets credit for this one. 14:42 of the second period. But regardless, that doesn't matter since the scoring summary reads 5 for Washington and only 1 for Indianapolis.
Face-off, puck drop. Dylan Cousins had it. Loses. It's actually a face-off 1 for the Washington Nationals. One of the rare ones, the road team. I don't know why that is. The home team seems to just dominate draws. Puck comes back down the Washington direction. Now behind the net of Linus Ullmark. The Nats have it in the far corner. Fired through the slot. Almost hit Ullmark, but cleared through the crease. To the near corner. Out of the far corner, it's Dylan Cousins. Cousins still leading the rush. To the blue line and cleared. Neutral ice. Here come the Nats. Fired just wide. To the near corner now. Ullmark had to be sharp there, but didn't actually have to make any sudden moves. Around to the blue line and out. To the far corner now. To the right of Vitek Vanacek's cage. Here's a chance. It was in the slot for a second. Had to be stopped by Vanacek and poked away. Down come the Nats. They fired down off the backboards, maybe the side of the net there. Still behind the net now. Near corner, there's Jared McCann battling with just about everybody. To the blue line and clear. Indy's able to clear the zone, but now it's coming back the way of the Nationals. An opportunity here. Can they get 6? No, a good defensive stick there. I believe that was Jesper Bratt, who has now changed for Quinton Byfield. Behind the net. Cleared away. Maybe a chance. No, as it's going to slide through the hash marks, but not on target. To the far corner. That's where the New Orleans Wildcats did a ton of their damage just 2 nights ago, but no damage to be dealt there by Indy. To neutral ice. Still in neutral ice after a decent defensive stick there. Comes back down the way the Motorheads would quite like. Now, Quinton Byfield, Drake Batherson got stuck on the boards there for half a second. Fired down off the boards to the slot. No one home. To the blue line now. Cleared away. Across the Washington blue line. Here's maybe a chance for Indy. Fired it wide. Coming back down the other way. Uh-oh. Saved by Ullmark. It's on the goal line. Will it go? Huge scrum. It's still on the line. Yes, it gets knocked home. Who is it? Is it John Carlson? Dmitry Orlov? I don't know. I can't tell. But Washington regains a 5-goal lead.
Neither can the Washington Nationals as the camera turns back to, or the cameraman, because the camera turns back to center ice. Players are in by the bench just to simply congratulate somebody as this puck sat in the crease for quite a while as everybody on the ice came in to try and get a piece of it, and finally it was an Indianapolis Motorhead that got a stick on it and pushed it past their own goaltender.
Sam Bennett now bringing it down. Can Washington make it 7? No. Lawson Krause gets his first goal of the game. Second point after an assist earlier in the game.
Only one team has scored 7 goals this season, and I do believe it was the New Orleans Wildcats against the San Francisco Flight.
Yeah, and that... Oh, here's a chance maybe. No, cleared away. A good chance for Indy. Here's another chance for Indy. It was actually saved by Vanacek. Puck coming back down the other way. It's going to miss just wide. Yes, and that game that you speak of, New Orleans, I believe, won it about 7-2, and that's what essentially clinched them a playoff spot, as it was just about not. It wasn't totally impossible, but almost mathematically impossible for San Francisco to come back and make the playoffs after that game. Really a shocking game if you really think about it. To the far corner and out of play.
San Francisco had been perfect on home ice up until that point.
They sure were. New Orleans came in and just kind of stormed the barn. I think it caught everyone by surprise. No one was expecting that game to go that way. Here's another chance for Washington. Can they make it 7? No. A save by Linus Ullmark. He's doing the best he can, but his team isn't giving him a whole lot of help. Another funny hop. Apparently the boards aren't giving him a whole lot of help either. Just a quarter of a period remaining to go here in the third. The score is 6-1, and you can at this point essentially call it a 3-1 Washington series lead. The magic number of the playoffs seems to be 4 goals, because every team that has scored 4 has ended up winning the game. Here's another chance for Washington. Off the side of the net. They're trying to make it 7. They just can't. They're trying to crush the hopes of their opponents. To the far corner. It's off the boards. Dougie Hamilton now has it behind the net. Trying to get it out. What a deflection. But it would believe it would have been onto his own goal, but it didn't go. Neutral ice. Here's Oliver Bjorkstrand. Playing it back down. Trying to get into the offensive end and does. Dougie Hamilton's there. Trying to steer it away from his own net. And they're able to get it cleared. A nice deflection there by Hamilton. Battle in front. Steered away by Bowen Byram. Byram had it. Lost it to Evgeny Kuznetsov. At the blue line. Now neutral ice. Now across the blue line. Now behind the Washington net. Just 40 seconds remaining here in game number 4. And this is going to all but do it, folks. 10 seconds to go. The Washington Nationals have won. They have taken a 3-1 series lead and are 2 for 2 on the road. Washington leads 3-1.
And that puts the Washington Nationals 1 win away from advancing to the Southwest Conference Final. And it's going to be interesting to see what response Indianapolis has for Game 5 as the Nats go back to home ice for that one, for Game 5. And also, this was a huge statement win for the Washington Nationals. You gotta think that the Indianapolis Motorheads are gonna have a response.
Well, if you're an Indy fan, you sure hope the Indianapolis Motorheads have a response. But after a game when you get shelled 26-7 on the shot clock and 6-1 on the scoreboard, that is a morale-breaking game. Let alone you have to come back down from 3-1 in the series. You have to beat Washington twice in Washington. The next game is in Washington. Indy's going to have to try to find a way to scratch and claw their back into this series if they don't want their season to end. But that is for 2 nights from now to decide. Washington now leads this series 3-1. And in 2 nights' time, back in the Leidos Arena, have a chance to clinch a berth in round number 2 and be potentially the first team to do so. Although the other team that plays on the same night as Washington, the St. Louis Cyclones, also have a chance to do so. Tomorrow night, we have 2 more great matchups. The Lil Nice Fencers are visiting the New Orleans Wildcats for game number 4 of that matchup. The Wildcats lead that series at a score of 2-1. They're looking to make it a 3-1 series lead, just like Washington and St. Louis. Lil Nice looking to reverse the momentum of the last couple of games and head back to France with the series tied. And then later on that evening, it's the Boston Riptide, still overseas, playing in Tampere, Finland, as they face the Tampere Ilves. Tampere also looking to go up 3-1 as they currently lead that series, score 2-1. Washington looking to do the exact same thing Lil Nice is doing, reverse the momentum, tie the series, and head back home with your fans happy, momentum on your side, and hoping for a big Game 5 win. But that is for tomorrow to decide. For now, I have been Bill, and my broadcast partner tonight has been DMP. We thank you for watching. We sure hope you enjoyed this game presentation of Game 4 between Washington and Indianapolis. A heck of a game as was. Thank you for watching. Take care, everybody.